Minister, Chief of Staff, with your permission as our hosts, I'll consider all further protocols observed, because I've learned long ago never compete with protocols in this region because you're so good at them. I am Lieutenant Colonel Anton Gash, the Defence Attaché for the Caribbean for the UK. I'm feeling a little guilty now because we've had two very illustrious speakers. We're about to be followed by the Minister as an even more illustrious speaker, and here's me sandwiched in the middle. So think of me as the guy who brings the ice creams round in the intermission in the cinema, I think. So I am a defence advisor for 12 Commonwealth countries in the region, defence attaché for 2 non-Commonwealth countries, Haiti and Dominican Republic, also defence advisor to the 5 British Caribbean overseas territories. Overall, that makes me defence attaché for the Caribbean. It's a huge region to try and cover, but one of great privilege. And I'm learning almost every day that I'm in this job, which is very much the purpose and point of all of us being here over the next couple of weeks. I've been defence attaché or defence advisor for pretty much the last 12, 13 years in Sri Lanka, in South Asia, in Ghana, in West Africa, and now for the Caribbean. One of the common threads in all of those locations has been the relationship with Bournemouth University Disaster Management Centre, who have visited in all of those continents and delivered courses like this, either to a national audience or to a regional audience. What I can guarantee those of you who are now embarking on the next 2 weeks is that you will find it challenging, enjoyable, productive, and very much a collective learning experience. And I know from the 2 facilitators or instructors that they learn as much from every course as they impart. I've had this relationship with the Disaster Management Centre for the last 12 or 13 years, but it's never been in a region where the topics are quite so imperative, are quite so current, and quite so relevant. Why do we do this? My job is to be my Chief of Defence Staff's representative in the region and to all of these countries. And the beauty of working in the Caribbean is that on almost every occasion that I examine it, the UK's interests are absolutely aligned with the region's interests or the individual countries' interests. A stronger Caribbean, whether it be in terms of countering organised crime or preparing for disasters or preparing for the spectre of terrorism, is also a stronger UK, and vice versa, both in terms of our territories in the region. We are territorial stakeholders, we are Caribbean, or in terms of support to UK forces when they need to come into the region to support in the aftermath of a hurricane, as we saw in 2017, where the support of Barbados and the Defence Force was absolutely key, as the High Commissioner mentioned. I'm delighted that from the UK today, as well as my facilitators, we've got what we like to think of as a one HMG, Her Majesty's Government, a one HMG approach. So I'm from the Ministry of Defence, the High Commissioner from the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, and Simone Bannister at the back from the Department for International Development. And that is very much the way that we try to see this sort of activity. And I think that is shown from the people who are sitting here in the audience. We have got almost every type of ministry, organisation, agency. And so there's a great opportunity for cross-pollination, cross-fertilisation, and the sharing of ideas. Please make the most of that. I can't even read my own writing now. I will save thank yous for the end of the course. I'll be coming back. Sadly, I have to head off to about 3 different countries in between now and the end of the course. But I'll be certainly back for the course dinner. I never like to miss an end of course dinner. And I look forward to hearing about some of the shared adventure that you've been on. So the only thank you I want to say right now is one up front for the support that we have had from the Barbados Defence Force, both in giving us the location and the venue, the logistic and administrative support. And without that partnership, and it very much is a partnership, I simply couldn't make this sort of activity happen. I don't have the resources or the manpower, so I'm hugely grateful. More thanks at the end. The final thing I want to say is something that I often say at the end of these events. You have the opportunity from the, I think, 7 different countries represented during this training, across all of your departments, your ministries, your organizations, to form what I always call a conspiracy of the converted. And some of you have heard me talk about this before. By the end of this 2 weeks, you will all have got it. Light bulbs will have gone off. You will have shared contact details, shared ideas, so that when you've got a problem, you've got somebody to talk to, somebody to seek counsel from, somebody to provide help. It doesn't matter if when you go back to your country or your organization, your boss doesn't necessarily quite get it. You do. You will have the ability to spread this best practice upwards and outwards, and be a force for the sort of change that you decide you need. If you need change, you may spend this 2 weeks discovering that actually your processes and procedures are absolutely fit for purpose, and they then become useful for other people. But please remember that concept of being a conspiracy of the converted. People who've shared the experience have got it and can share that thread. Thank you very much, and I look forward to meeting you all towards the end of week 2. Thank you.